positive, and everyone's had just as much learnings and transformations as they would have had it been in a one-to-one group. So I've really enjoyed in the classes, and I just want to do a quick recap on some of the things that we've covered over the last, well, 8 weeks now. And the main premise of generative trance meditation is that we allow ourselves that moment in time to connect truly and purposely with our own creative flow. And the difficulty that we often have, purely because of the stresses and strains of everyday life, it can be challenging for us to connect into that natural creative flow. I like to liken this to connecting to your own consciousness, that place of simply just being and being at one. And that's why the trance work is very akin to meditation. So what we're doing is we're connecting on three different levels. We're using our logical conscious mind, and we're aligning that with our own creative flow, or consciousness is a good way to describe it, all at the same time as being very mindful and very present in the moment. And we're then opening up to something beyond that, to what's called a creative consciousness, or a quantum field of collective energy. And we can call it many different things. Some people call it prana, some people call it opening up to spirit or universal energy. It doesn't really matter what we call it. The idea being is that we connect on all three levels, and when we connect on these three levels in this way, at that moment in time, we are in our own creative flow, where time and reality no longer really exist, but they do exist. And I know that sounds a bit like a contradiction, but it's almost as if everything stops in that moment. And in that moment of creative flow, the idea with generative trance meditation is that you can if you bring your problems or your challenges into that place, into that center when you're aligned, being mindful and in the present moment with them, then there's many solutions available. There's many possible choices available to us at that moment. And it's a place from which we can access these solutions, these different routes to solving our problems, to solving challenges in life, that we're unable to do so when we're just in the classical conscious mind, that logical thinking mind, because in that place we get stuck and there's very little options or choices available to us. But when we're in that creative flow, anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. And any changes or healing or solutions that come, they come from a very generative level. A place of being centered and being at one within your own consciousness, but at the same time connecting out to this collective field where everything's happened before. In the past, things have already happened, so it really is quite a magical place. It's almost like in this collective field, or this field of energy, and in this quantum field of infinite possibilities, that every problem that any person has had, and any way to solve that problem or find a solution to generating something different, has already been dropped in there. So you're connecting into a deep, infinite wisdom. And that's what makes the process so magical. And that's what you've been learning to do over the last 8 weeks. You've been learning to center and align your conscious and unconscious mind so as that you can then open up into your own creative flow and connect out into that field of energy. And I hope that the process that I've guided you through over the last 8 weeks, including tonight, has been easy enough for you to follow so that long after these classes are finished, you'll be able to sit down, whether you're listening to a recording or not, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to sit down and access this place within you because the pattern or the neural pathway's already been connected. And you'll know exactly what to do to bring a problem into this place to help you move beyond that and find different choices and different ways of doing things. And as I've said previously, it may not always be obvious whilst in trance what these solutions are or ideas might be, or what the transformations may look like or feel like or even sound like. But what you can be sure of, and I'm pretty certain based on the feedback that I've been getting, is that things will start to change in the smallest of ways. You will start to feel changes in all areas of your life, no matter what you're bringing into trance. So it's a very magical thing for you to create. And it's very empowering. It's very empowering for you and also those around you, because as you change and transform your challenges that life offers you, and you're handling them in a more resourceful and more positive way, then that can only be beneficial for those around you too. So this practice of generative trance meditation really does impact out across many areas of your life. And I'm sure many of you are already seeing the benefits of that, especially if you have been the kind of person who's quite locked up in your mind and find that you spend a lot of time in that thinking mode, analysing and working things out. But when you drop into this place, or drop into yourself, then life becomes easier and slower and even calmer. And the feedback I've had from many of you is that your mind feels as if it just begins to slow down. You get a sense that there's not as much thinking going on as there was before. So even if that is all that you experience as a result of generative trance, then that in itself is a very powerful thing, because when our mind slows down, our body slows down too, and we're in a much more relaxed and less stressful place, which, as we all know, can only be good for our health. So you've learnt many things. We've taken our call into trance. We've realised different intentions and connected in different ways with different parts of who we are. And then last week we did trance work on self-forgiveness, which I am sure was a very powerful experience for many of you. I've had a beautiful email from someone this week who did the forgiveness meditation for a second time, and they were just amazed at what actually came up for them, things that they had thought they had dealt with a long time ago and had released and let go. And there was a realization there that they were still holding on to stuff and really giving themselves a hard time. So that was great to hear such positive feedback, and it was great to know that that person was able to have such a meaningful experience that's really going to benefit them going forward. So please do share your experiences at the end of this course. It would be lovely to get an email with your feedback on how you believe it's benefited you, and maybe the different things that you've become more aware of since taking the time to do this class. It really would be wonderful to hear that feedback. So tonight I emailed everyone and suggested that you make a choice as to what you want to bring into trance tonight. You set your own intention for what it is that you'd like to achieve. And I've had about half a dozen emails actually tonight sharing with me some of the things that people would like to set as an intention for the future for themselves. And one of the most common ones, well, the most popular intention seems to be staying connected and being at peace with themselves. So I'm not going to set that as an intention, but I'm just putting it out there so as that you get an idea, everyone gets an idea of some of the things that people are going to be working on. I've had a couple of the emails, what they've suggested that they would like to do in some of the other emails is to set up a positive state for going forward into the new year, into the future, where they can live feeling confident and calm and at one with themselves. So these are lovely intentions to set and very powerful. And the last one that I received earlier this evening was from a lovely lady, and her intention, which I just think is really, really wonderful, is to find more compassion for herself and for the world at large, especially towards her friends and family, to find more compassion, to be more compassionate in the world. So really lovely intentions. So thank you to everyone for sharing that with me. So without further ado, as they say, we shall get started with the trance, and I hope by now that you're all settled in a comfortable position and ready to start the trance off. And just before we start, I'm going to take a little drink of water. I haven't been running lots of classes today or having lots of sessions, so there really is no excuse for me having a croaky voice other than being busy shopping for Christmas, as I'm sure you all are too. Okay, so let's get started. Let's begin our trance now. And I'd just like you to take a nice deep breath in, breathing in and down and out, finding your own rate and speed for your breathing, and just becoming aware of your breath for this moment. As you allow yourself a few moments to settle in and settle down, breathing in and out, and beginning to feel that wonderful sensation of relaxation as we begin this process now. of centering, aligning, connecting to our own creative flow and opening up to something much, much more. And I'd like to invite you to begin to imagine that pebble hovering gently at the top of your head, or your own symbol that you've created in trance. Begin now to imagine it there, gently hovering at the top of your head. Your symbol, which represents your intention, your desire, your deepest wish for this trance this evening. And take a moment or so now to really get a sense of how your intention is represented in that symbol. What does it look like? What does it feel like and sound like? Really get a sense of it. That's right. Really get a sense of that pebble containing your intention. Maybe it has a colour or a texture. Maybe there's something significant that you notice now. And as you connect with your intention, represented in your symbol, you can become aware. You can become aware now of the top of your head. Really become aware of it. All the muscles on the top of your head, softening and relaxing as you settle in and settle down. And you can become aware of that space in your crown beginning to open up in readiness to receive your intention, your desire, that thing that you'd so wish to achieve right now. That's right. Really become aware of it now. And take in this awareness, this present moment, this time, and allowing your pebble, your symbol, to drop in and down. And you can do this at your own rate and speed as you settle in and settle down and begin to become aware of your intention dropping in to the very centre of your mind, your thinking mind. And I don't know where in that place it will go, deep in your mind, the very centre of your brain, where all the neural networks connect and transform, where they switch on and switch off, deep into your conscious mind, your intention, your desire. And there's nothing to do in the body except relax now. And there's nothing to cling to in the mind. You can simply allow yourself to settle in, settle down into a new way of being and a new way of doing. And as your intention finds its place now, you can take your awareness, you can take your awareness to the very base of your skull, where your spine connects and travels all the way down to your tailbone, being fully aware of your spine, connecting the mind and the body. And you can imagine your spine being hollow inside, just like a straw. And you can use your breath to breathe in and down and out, in and down and out through your spine, centering and aligning all the vertebrae that travel up and down each side. And really become aware of your spine. Notice how that spine processes all the information that travels between the mind and the body. It processes it, transforms, and realigns the information from the mind to the body and the body to the mind. And as you become aware of this, you can allow your intention, your pebble or symbol, to begin to gently move and drop down into the very center of your spine, as if you're dropping information deep within your body, from your mind deep within the center of your being. All the way down it goes, finding its own center and its own time and place in the very heart of your somatic body, your intention, your desire settling in and settling down in the very epicenter of your own creative flow, your own consciousness. As you begin to align both the conscious and unconscious mind, connecting deep within that flow of your consciousness, both parts, the body and the mind and the body, aligning, connecting in new ways, new information being passed as you center and align the mind and the body and the mind with your intention and your desire. That's right. Begin to feel that now. Sense it, see it, and you can hear it in many different ways. And you can feel in many different ways. And see how this alignment allows you to center in to your own being, your own connectedness. And in this place, right now, I'd like you to imagine that you're holding your intention in your hand, gently holding it there as if it was something fragile. Softly and gently holding your intention with the deepest love and compassion, with a wisdom and a knowing that this intention, this desire is so deeply part of who you already are. After all, you had this thought, this idea. It came from you. Therefore, it is so deeply connected to who you already are and are already becoming. So hold it there with the deepest love as you would hold your lover or friend, as you would hold something that contains so much intrinsic value, a purity, a divineness that is truly yours, holding it there, resting it there, right there in the palm of your hand. And as you hold it there, I'd like you to ask yourself, what stops me from bringing this intention out into the world, from bringing this intention out into the world, in my existence? What stops me? And simply allow yourself to be present and mindful in this place. It doesn't matter if you can see or sense or feel what that is. Just simply allow yourself to be open to whatever comes, whatever sense you have, whatever image, whatever word. And when you get a real sense of something, known but unknown, imagine it there. On the other hand, and the opposite hand to your intention. And just imagine it there now. That thing that stops you. Whatever it may be. A doubt, a fear. Whatever it is, hold it in the opposite hand. Hold it with the deepest love. Hold it with compassion as you would hold something of true value. For this too is part of you. Part of your divine being. After all, it came from you. So hold both parts together in each hand, lovingly, gently. And I'd like to invite you to observe both parts from a different perspective, from the place of your alignment, from the center of your own creative flow. Observe both parts of you now. Your intention and that thing that stops you from stepping out in the way that you so desire, in the way that you so wish. Simply observe them. Observe the energy that flows between the two and become aware of the connectedness each has with the other, and acknowledging that one cannot exist without the other. To be this, one must also be that. Yet there is no right and there is no wrong. There is only this and that. Two parts that make a whole. Your yin and your yang. Allow them to dance together, to flow in harmony, and see the beauty and the music and the ecstasy between the two as you allow them to flow between one another, joining, connecting, as both these energies, both these parts of you transform and integrate in a different way. And as they continue to dance in their own way, begin to see the uniqueness that they bring together, the quality of both joined as one. Draw them together. Draw both these parts together and expand your awareness. Expand your awareness and open up into a quantum field. Open out into the collective consciousness, taking both these parts and allowing them to free fall in the galaxies of the universal energy, free falling like shooting stars, and begin to notice the new connections as both these parts join together, free fall in this quantum field. And allow them to drop into this web of collective consciousness where many things have dropped in this ocean before, where many things have dropped and dissolved into this wave of consciousness, where all times coexist, where all realities connect, both past and present, and future realities transform one another, where when you step out, there is many realities before you and many paths behind you, and many realities now, and you can take any choice you wish, any path. You can explore and find new ways of being and doing, different ways to bring your intention to the world. And in this field, in this collective consciousness, where worlds collide and minds expand, I'd like to invite you to call forward your own guide, your own spirit guide or mentor or sponsor. Call them forward. Maybe they come from the past, or the present, or the future. Or maybe they skip in from other galaxies, different planets, different realities. So ask your guide, your own spirit guide, to step forward. And when they step forward, I'd like you to ask them to help you bring this intention of yours, this desire of yours, to help you bring it in and take it out into the world, transforming it, doubling the impact. And how can you now begin to imagine this intention of yours exploding like fireworks in all different directions as the lights and the energy of this deepest desire sparkles out in bright colours with heat radiating high above. What guidance does your guide have to light up this path of infinite possibilities, infinite resources available to you now at the deepest generative level as you swim in your own creative flow, as you swim in the energies of times past, times present, and times future, transforming that intention into your own reality now. What abundance of wisdom, of knowledge, as you dive into that pool. You can begin now to transform all things that have held you back, that have stopped you, transforming and changing. As neural pathways begin to emerge, new lights switching on, like little glows of energy. And you can swim through each of these, or float through them. As if you were a feather in the sky, floating slowly and effortlessly through the transformation of your own consciousness, your own awareness now can become whatever you want it to be. You are this flow, this abundance, and you are connected to all things. And you can flow down the river of your creative energy. And you can connect at the deepest level in this place, softly and gently, just like the feather floating down effortlessly and easily. You can begin now to see new ways of being and doing, to feel new ways and sense new ways of being and doing. And you can ask your guide to light up your future path so that you can get a sense of a time beyond now, a time in the future that already exists, that you've already created, a time that you've chosen. to release your intention. Into this world. And you can go ahead now and look at that time. Whatever time it is for you, time is simply a number. One single moment or a lifetime in this place. All time remains the same. So begin to connect with that future. See your guide, sense your guide, and hear your guide lighting up the pathway to your time, your moment, where you realize this intention. Finally, in many, many different ways, you can see that now and feel that now. That's right. And for one moment in this time, take this awareness you have now and step into that place as if you were stepping inside the body of that future you, and really sense it, feel it, hear it, feel that creative flow flowing through your veins, the life force. Feel it resonating deep within you as you bring that intention out now into your reality. And you can take a nice deep breath in and breathing out the magnificence, the uniqueness of all that you are. In this quantum field of infinite possibilities, this collective consciousness where all is one, all is connected. And as you begin to step back in this moment, this time, take a look around at all that you've learned. Get a sense of all the resources that are there for you, all the many, many paths and many different realities. And give thanks to your guides, your sponsors or mentors, who each and every day light this path for you as you connect and align with yourself and the collective field of consciousness. Give thanks in your own way for these gifts and much, much more. Give thanks. And as you do this, make a silent vow and commitment to yourself. I promise that each and every day I will bring my intentions, my desires into the world in my own unique way, with the deepest love and compassion for that part of me that's seen and that other part of me that's waiting in the shadows to step into the light. So for a moment, simply be in this place, aligned and centered in your own creative flow, your own flow of abundance, and enjoying the peace, the calm, and that deep, deep sense of knowing that this is exactly how it's meant to be for now. Excellent. So I'm going to begin now to bring you back into the world, to bring you back in the world, full conscious awareness. I'm beginning to wakening up at your own rate and speed, allowing yourself to fully awake, coming back and feeling good, feeling connected and aligned to your intention, your purpose, and feeling ready to take that out into the world. Excellent. Well done, everyone. Well done. So I'm just going to speak for a few moments and allow you to gently come back. And I'd really like to thank you all, each and every one of you, for joining me these last 8 weeks. It really has been wonderful, and I'm looking forward to sharing more with you in the future. If any of you are interested, I am going to be running Generative Trance meditation retreat weekends in 2014. So if that's something that would be of interest to you, then please do get in touch. I will send out some information nearer the time. But the retreat weekends will be working in little groups of 3, where we'll be spending the weekend working with Generative Trance and learning even more about the process and how you can use this, whether you use it personally to help bring about change in your own life, or whether you are someone who already works with people, a coach or a holistic practitioner, or someone who already does meditation, how you can use generative trance in your daily work, your daily practice. So I will be posting out some details about that. There will also be a 1-day event that I will be organising in January for all of you who've taken part in the 8-week class. And that 1-day event will be most likely at my home, and you will all be welcome. Again, I'll send out the invite. That event is free. There is no additional charge for that, because that forms part of the Generative Trance class. And what I will be covering on that 1-day event is ways that you can top up this generative trance, and a couple of different things that I haven't felt it appropriate to use on the online classes that I would like to share with you in a face-to-face class. So I'll get some information sent out to you all probably after Christmas now, because I am about to wind up and finish for the Christmas holiday period, and I technically won't be back at work until the 6th of January, so I'm having a nice break. I've had a very busy year this year, so I'm looking forward to spending some time in my own creative flow over the holiday period. So I think that's about it for tonight, and again I can't thank you enough. It's been a wonderful 8 weeks. I've really enjoyed sharing the generative trance with you, and I'm looking forward to sharing even more next year. So have a wonderful Christmas, everybody, and a very, very prosperous new year when it comes. And I look forward to hearing how many of you make some wonderful changes in your life and bring about all these amazing intentions that you've set, and maybe connect with you for the New Year trance. I forgot about that. There's another New Year trance on the 31st of December. I did one last year for Christmas and for New Year, and I thought it would be nice to do it again for New Year. I'm not doing one for Christmas. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas and a fabulous New Year, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Namaste.